Welcome to the first episode of my new YouTube series, Silent Paws, Life with a Deaf Dog. In this episode, we're going to go over how I came across Adonis and how we became a family, what we learned about each other in the first 2 months of living together, working with a dog trainer for the first time ever, how we're living now, and a few interesting facts about deaf dogs that you might not know. I will have more episodes coming in the future. I plan on going over the hand signals and sign language I use to communicate with Adonis, as well as how we walk on and off leash, and just some of our day-to-day activities. If you want to see these episodes, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss when the newest episode is uploaded. So let's just jump right into it and start off with how we met Adonis. It was 2023 and I just graduated respiratory school, and myself and Jeff, who was my boyfriend at the time but is now my husband, we both decided that we were ready to finally adopt a dog together. So we went on Pet Finder and we were looking for a couple days and we found a couple that we liked, but then we scrolled across Adonis's picture and he immediately caught our eye. He was super cute in his picture. And we opened it up and we read the description. I was a little sad at first because I saw he was in Corpus Christi, Texas, so I was like, there's no way we're gonna be able to go get him. But we were really lucky because the adoption center that we got him from offered a service that would bring the dogs up the East Coast, and we would meet at a certain spot and then we could pick him up. So we put in an application. A few phone calls later, we got approved and we were super excited. Something that I remember when we were adopting him and reading his profile was, immediately the first thing that jumped out to me was that he was deaf. And I don't have any experience with like deaf animals or deaf dogs, but I thought it was really interesting and it kind of made me want him even more. And I remember talking to the lady from the adoption center and she was saying how he had a lot of applications that came through, but people never adopted him because when they found out he was deaf, they didn't want him anymore. And that just really hurt my feelings and made me feel so bad. I don't think that's a reason to not adopt a dog. So we went through with the adoption process and we picked him up on August 12th, 2023. And we met at a Cracker Barrel and we received him from the delivery van and we took him home, and then he was ours forever. I also want to mention the breed of Adonis. The adoption center had him listed as a Dogo Argentino. I'm not sure that he's a purebred Dogo Argentino. He looks like he's a mix of a couple breeds. I haven't gotten a DNA test done on him, which we really need to do because I would love to know what he is. Just haven't had the funds to do it yet. So one of my episodes will be doing the DNA test and revealing the results for you guys so we can all figure out what he actually is. He definitely looks like a Dogo to me, has some of the qualities, and a lot of Dogo Argentinos are born deaf. We'll get into that later when I share some interesting facts. His age is estimated at the time we adopted him to be about 1.5 years. So 3 years later, he's about 4.5 years old. Again, we don't know for sure. We have to get a DNA test done to reveal his actual age and breed. The first 2 months of me and Adonis living together were tough for both of us. I just graduated school, so I was still living with my mom. Me and Jeff were waiting to move into our new apartment. We were still trying to figure out what we needed from each other and how our schedules were gonna work out. He was very anxious when I first got him. He paced the house all day long, back and forth, front to back. Would sit at the door, would follow me, would follow my mom, would just follow us around all day long. He still does that now, but he really only follows me around, and I would say his anxiety has gotten a lot better. The one thing that I found out quickly after adopting Adonis was that he was not leash trained. They claimed that he was leash trained, but he was not. He was very hard to walk. He's a strong guy. He would drag me down the street and I would have, heels and butt on the ground pulling back, and he would just drag me down the street. So I decided the best thing to do was hire a dog trainer. I didn't want to give up on him. The first 2 months were so hard for me. I was really overwhelmed. I was getting super frustrated and I just felt like I wasn't the right fit for him. The dog trainer was kind of like my last chance. And I'm so glad I hired a dog trainer because it made a world of difference, and his leash training caught on like that. The leash training made a huge difference. I was able to let him know what I needed just based off of leash pressure, and I was able to let him know if he was pulling me too hard or if I wanted him to sit and stay. I also had him trained on an e-collar. I know that this is kind of a subject that's a little taboo for some people. I am 100% for e-collars. I feel like it's the user needs to be properly educated on how to use them safely. It's such a great tool, especially for deaf dogs. I can't recall him, he can't hear me. With my e-collar, I can recall him with a vibrate. I do not have to shock him. But again, the vibrate is a great function just to recall him to me so that I can keep him safe and that I can keep other people safe as well. I will do a separate episode on the e-collar training and how we navigate that. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep an eye out for that episode. Today, Adonis is a perfect fit into our family. He is obsessed with following me around and staring at me. He loves snuggling with Jeff. And he loves my nieces and nephews. He loves to go outside and play with them. He fits in just like a child. It couldn't be more perfect. He is also really friendly with other dogs. He is kind of like the perfect dog that you could ask for when adopting. He gets along with everyone, everything. I've never seen him aggressive. I've seen him more scared of things. I remember one time when I first got him, we were walking and there was a pine cone in the street and it scared the crap out of him. He's a really good boy and we got super lucky with him. A few things we found out that he absolutely loves. Number one is ripping apart his toys and his stuffies. He loves to rip them apart. He has never chewed on anything else. He only rips apart his toys. Once he sees the stuffing, it's kind of game over for that toy. He loves to go on car rides. When I get into the episode on signs, I'll show you the sign for car. But the second he sees that, he is at the door and will literally sprint to the car. He's also a big chewer, and he loves to chew on his bones, especially his worm bone that we got from a bark box. Another thing he really enjoys doing is sleeping. He sleeps a lot. I would say more than a normal dog. I'll go over that a little bit later because that kind of does have to do with him being deaf. He loves getting in the way, especially when what I'm doing or what Jeff is doing doesn't involve a dog. He just loves to be included. The other thing he loves is staring. Whether he's staring at himself, staring at his reflection, staring at me, or staring at me through a reflection. He is the king of staring competitions. There's not much that he doesn't like. I would say the two main things he really doesn't like is getting wet or being in the rain. This man hates water. He does not want to be wet. He doesn't want to be in the rain. We have a rain jacket for him and he willingly puts it on because he knows it's going to help keep him dry. The second thing that he's not a huge fan of is the Roomba. He's completely fine with normal vacuum cleaners, but for some reason the Roomba really sets him off. He does not like when it bumps into him or touches him. Let's get into a couple things that you should know about deaf dogs. The kind of deafness that Adonis has is congenital deafness. This is something that a dog is born with and can be present at birth or a few weeks following birth. The most common cause of this type of deafness is linked to pigment color or their coat color. Dogs that are predisposed for congenital deafness have coats that are either spotted, dappled, merle, or white like Adonis. The most commonly affected breed from this congenital deafness is Dalmatians. Congenital deafness can affect one or both ears. In Adonis's case, he can't hear anything at all, so he is deaf in both of them. It's most prevalent in piebald gene, which is a gene where it's two colored coats, so white and black, or anything that has two colors, so think Dalmatians, Dogo Argentinos, Bull Terriers, and Australian cattle dogs. Those breeds you'll see a lot of deaf dogs. How does congenital deafness work? The lack of pigment cells, which are called melanocytes, in the inner ear causes the sound detecting hair cells to die off during development in the womb. This same lack of pigment cells also often affects the dog's eye color, causing light-colored eyes. Again, in Adonis's case, you can see his eyes are a very bright green-blue color. Common symptoms of congenital deafness include ignoring or not reacting to squeaker toys, doorbells, or other dogs barking, abnormal amounts of sleep, jumping or startled when they're being touched or woken up, and ignoring commands. And all of these symptoms are very clear in Adonis. Unfortunately, breeders often euthanize dogs that are born with bilateral deafness due to the stigma that deaf dogs can't live normal lives. And this is completely untrue. There are plenty of deaf dogs who live normal lives, including Adonis. He's one of the most normal dogs out there, and you wouldn't even know he was deaf unless I told you. Deaf dogs do require extra safety precautions. They can't hear motor vehicles or traffic. they have trouble reading social cues from other dogs, whether it be growling, barking, biting, and just overall aggressiveness. So if you consider owning a deaf dog, it's really important that you educate yourself, get the proper training that you need from a dog trainer that's familiar with deaf dogs, and also just have a lot of patience. A few facts about deafness in Dogo Argentinos, since that is the breed we believe Adonis to be. About 25% of the breed is affected by deafness in either one or both of the ears. In a study, it was noted that dogs with a patch had a lower prevalence, while dogs with blue eyes had a higher prevalence. Adonis doesn't have any really big patches. He has a very small one behind his ear, but he also has light-colored eyes. So I think that puts him on the higher prevalence end of it. Deafness in Dogo Argentinos has no relation to the sex, so male or females were equally affected. That is our introduction to Adonis and what you need to know about deaf dogs. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm hoping to post more episodes about Adonis and his life as a deaf dog.